Hello there, and welcome to this video on how to build self-belief so you can take action and get what it is that you truly want in your life. It really is possible to do, to be able to work on yourself and get yourself to the point where you completely and utterly believe in yourself. And you know that you can and you will have everything that you've ever wanted in life. And it really comes down to just doing that internal work on yourself and clearing out those limiting beliefs and the negative emotions that are holding you back and stopping you from truly having it all. Now, unfortunately, many people doubt themselves, and most go through their entire lives never ever getting it sorted out. So they end up living a life of mediocrity instead of the life that they truly dream of. They settle for so much less than they are actually capable of because they just don't have that self-belief, or they don't know their own worth. And it literally keeps them stuck. They are so worried about what other people will think. So they just tend not to step out of the box because the last thing that they want is to be ridiculed and made fun of, especially if they fail. And so they simply do not take the action they need to take. And I suffered with this for years. I can remember a business that I started once. I actually wrote a book, and I was actually quite pleased with the outcome. It was a book on how to attract your ideal partner. And I'd written that because I was pretty sure I'd done just that. And so I decided to take a leap and go all out with this, and I built a sales page and put it all up. And I even started contacting dating sites and got some interest from some of them for their members. So things seemed to be going along really well. I was getting some sales, things were moving, until a member of my husband's family discovered it all. Now, at this stage, I didn't have a lot of self-worth, self-esteem, or self-belief. And when this person, who I felt I needed to keep on side, ran down my product and told me that I was actually embarrassing the family, I've got to say, I was absolutely mortified. I mean, the last thing I wanted to do was alienate this person. And so instead of pushing through, I actually shut the whole thing down and I completely buried it like it had never, ever been there at all. Now, I did this out of complete fear of actually upsetting this person who I thought that I really needed to keep on side. And because I was deathly afraid of what they would think and what they would say and what they would do. Now, if I'd already built up my self-worth and self-esteem and self-confidence and self-belief back then I would have honestly thanked them for their viewpoint and continued on the path I was on, not worrying in the slightest about their opinion. And see, this is the power of building your self-belief, because when you truly believe in yourself, superstar, you can really do anything. So how do you go from where you are currently to having the unshakable self-belief that you see me having today? Well, I can tell you exactly how I did it and how you can too. Now, I spent many years searching for some self-confidence and self-belief. And it wasn't until a few years ago when I actually discovered NLP that my life transformed. By working with an NLP practitioner, I was able to remove my negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. And this allowed me to let go of certain beliefs that were really holding me back. So I was able to let go of thoughts such as the I'm not good enough and the I'm not worthy and that I'm not wanted. And believe me, these thoughts would control my every move. And all I wanted to do back then was to fit in and to be accepted and to be loved and to be wanted. And the thing was, I'd heard many times that until I loved myself, no one would be able to love me. Yet still, I could not find the answers that I needed. And I've got to say, a lot of me was also too scared to reach out and really look for the help in case I was judged or ridiculed or even worse. And so I really just fumbled along, never really being truly happy and never feeling good enough about myself at all until I discovered NLP. Now, for someone who had already spent a fair whack of money on personal development and some coaches who didn't get a result with me, doing yet another thing seemed like a real waste of time. Instantly, though, I started seeing the results and I started making progress. And once I was convinced that this was the answer to do it all, I couldn't get enough. I was really like a dog with a bone. Anything that came up, I would jump at it and I would go for it. And, it made me reach out to another coach and say, help. And then they helped me and we'd actually remove what was holding me back. And with this limiting belief gone, the negative emotion was gone as well. And it was like I had a lightsaber. And then the universe decided to test me. Along came someone I trusted fully and completely, someone I would have done absolutely anything for. And they totally broke my heart. What's relevant about this, though, is that for the very first thing that I noticed was no part of me actually felt rejected or any less worthy. Whereas before, if something like this had happened, then I would have been a complete write-off. I would have been beating myself up. I would have been berating myself and really taking a battering to my self-belief and self-everything. So this event really was my convincer. And even though I was still in a world of hurt and pain, the fact that these two things were now diminished was enough for me to hold on tight and do what I had to do to get through it. What came out of it was so much more strength, confidence, certainty, clarity, focus, and drive, and an undeniable 100% belief in myself. So there you go. That is the answer on how to build your self-belief. So, superstar, you can have everything you truly desire. You just have to believe that you can.